Hello everybody, welcome back. So today is going to be a little book review, and I'm also going to be sharing with you my next book that I'm going to read. I've got 4 books here which I've read and I thought I would share them with you, and then there's one book that is next for me to read. I've really gotten into reading a lot more recently, so I've been really enjoying that, and I find it's really nice to take a step back from social media or sort of scrolling. I'm a little bit conscious of doom scrolling, but I've been trying to read more and I thought I would share these with you. So the first book, which I have actually shown here before, so I thought I would share with you again, but I've actually pretty much finished it now and I think I've read it so much over and over, but it is of course The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. I don't know why, but recently I keep picking it up and giving it a read, but I've pretty much finished with it now. I've read it so much and I do like coming back to it when I'm feeling just like I need some uplifting words of encouragement and positive affirmations. So it's a really good book if you're looking for something like that, and it is very comforting, exactly what it says, and it's full of memoirs and it's written in a way where you can pick it up and just read it. It's not a story, it's more of just short passages for you to read as and when. You can just pick a random page and read it, but I've got to the point now where I've read all of them, but I do recommend it. I think this book is definitely 5 out of 5, and it's also the author of The Midnight Library, which if you haven't read, you should. I highly recommend it. I read it quite a few years ago now, and I remember it being really good. There's nothing stronger than a small hope that doesn't give up. Reflections on hope, survival, and the messy miracle of being alive. It is a strange paradox that many of the clearest, most comforting life lessons are learned while we are at our lowest. But then we never think about food more than when we are hungry, and we never think about life rafts more than when we are thrown overboard. The Comfort Book is a collection of consolations learned in hard times and suggestions for making the bad days better. Drawing on maxims, memoirs, and the inspirational lives of others, these meditations celebrate the ever-changing wonder of living. This is for when we need the wisdom of a friend or a reminder we can always nurture inner strength and hope, even in our busy world. A book of timeless comfort for modern minds. I'll read a couple of the pages, but as you know, I have actually read this book on this channel before, and also on my other channel, the Book Nook channel. I'll read a couple of pages, I'll pick them at random. Let's go for this one. This is called A Little Plan. Be curious, go outside, get to bed on time, hydrate, breathe from the diaphragm, eat happy, get a routine baggy enough to live in. Be kind, accept that not everyone will like you. Appreciate those who do. Don't be defined. Allow, I'm going to say mess ups, but it's F ups. What you want already have. Learn to say no to things that get in the way of life, and to say yes to the things that help you live. Scroll your mind. Social media can be a gallery of lives you aren't to live in, of diets you aren't following, of parties you're not attending, of holidays you're not on, of fun you're not having. So cut yourself a break and scroll your mind instead. Scroll your consciousness for reasons to be grateful to be you. The only fear of missing out that matters is the fear of missing out on yourself. Check your armor. Check your emotional armor is actually protecting you and not so heavy you can't move. And I'll do one more. This is called a bag of moments. Happy moments are precious. We need to hold on to them, save them, write them down, place them in a bag. Have that metaphorical bag with you, for when it seems happy moments could never exist. Sometimes just to be reminded of happiness makes it more possible. So, as you know, this book is a favourite of mine. I've had it for a while, but recently I've come back to it a lot, and yeah, I've got through all of it numerous times. So I definitely recommend this book if you'd like something like this. It's very easy to read, and if you want something that's quick, different, just a couple of pages each time, this is for you. The next book, which I actually read in one sitting and filmed it from start to finish on my other channel, is this book. I didn't expect to read it all in one go, but it was very good. I like that it's short. It's a very short story, short read. It is 140 pages, so it's quite short. But I love these really short, quick reads. This one's actually out. I think this one came out last month. The Woman Next Door by Louise Jensen, and I don't know, I don't want to give too much away, but it was definitely one of the most gripping in a way where I just didn't want to put it down. I wanted to get to the end of it. I wanted to figure out what was going on, and I was just so captivated, and I was just like, I need to finish this. Every time a chapter finished, I was like, I need to know what happens next. I need to know what happens next. So if you want a quick read that's like that, I recommend this one, The Woman Next Door. I think I finished this in under 2 hours, which for me is pretty quick, but I loved it. And these quick reads are actually only £1, so I really recommend these if you don't like to read big books or you want to get into reading. They're also just very big text on the pages, so they're really friendly. Yeah, I really recommend these. There's so many of them as well, so definitely start with these. But yeah, it was, I don't want to give too much away if you do want to read it, but I give it 5 out of 5 as well. So this one says, 2 neighbours, 2 secrets, 1 chance at survival. Running from her past, Mina hopes to find peace in her new home, but her neighbour, Ada, is a mystery. Mina can't shake the feeling that something about Ada is off. Ada is delighted to have a new neighbour, but she too knows Mina is hiding something. While Mina and Ada are watching each other, someone is watching them. Both women are keeping secrets, but the danger closing in, they must trust one another to survive. What secret lies next door? It's a really, really good book. You just have to trust me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, I recommend it. The next book that I've read recently was this one. This is One by One by Frida McFadden. I've recently been loving Frida McFadden's books. I've got a couple of them now. This one is my most recent one that I've read. It's the author of The Housemaid, if you've seen the movie or read the book. They're all kind of the same vibe, I want to say. But I actually finished this one in 2 days, pretty much in 2 sittings. I think I read for like an hour and a half one day and then an hour and a half the next, and I finished it. Again, I was completely hooked. I love a book where I can start it and I'm just hooked. It makes me want to read more and finish the book. I'm not a fan of books where they're very slow and then I'm kind of reading for the sake of reading to finish the book. But this book was just very, from start to finish, I was intrigued. And I would probably give this one a 4 out of 5. It's not a 5 out of 5, but I would probably give it a 4, 4.5. It was pretty good, but having read others recently, it's either a 4 or 5. It's a very good book. I think when I first read it, I was like 5 out of 5, loved it. But in hindsight, thinking of other books and books I've read recently, like the other one, I'd probably say this is more 4.5, I think. But again, it was very good. But yeah, maybe a 4, maybe a 5. I'm torn, I don't know. It was pretty good, but I don't know. I'm strict. But anyway, I did love it and I do recommend it. One by one, they will get what they deserved. Claire Machette needs this trip. It will be a break from work and raising children, a chance to repair her damaged marriage, a week of hiking and hot tubbing with friends at a luxurious hotel in the woods, disconnected from the pressures of real life. Then, on a lonely dirt road, Claire's minivan breaks down. With no cell reception, the group has no choice but to walk the rest of the way to their remote accommodation. But the forest is dark and difficult to navigate, and hours later, they are lost, hopelessly lost. As they venture deeper into the woods, the members of their party are struck down mysteriously, one by one. Are they being hunted? And by what or who? As Claire's dream vacation descends into a nightmare, something becomes clear. Only one of them will return home alive. This is a taut story of betrayal and survival from Frida McFadden that will leave you wondering if there's any way out of the woods. Like I said, I was completely hooked while reading this, which I absolutely love. The ending surprised me. I thought it would end in a different way, and I can't decide whether it was like a perfect ending. I think that's why I'm on the fence. I loved it, but I don't know. yeah, I'm gonna say it was pretty good. I'm on the fence. I feel like it's a 5, but I feel like it's a 4.5. So yeah, anyway, I do recommend it. It's still pretty good. The next book which I've been reading, I've actually been dipping in and out of it just because of the style of the book. Again, it was out, I think, the beginning of the year or the end of last year, but it's a relatively new book. And this is The Dose Effect. So this book is not a story. It's a science-based book about sort of brain chemistry and different doses. It's about training the mind and focuses on 4 key chemicals, which is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, and is almost to make you feel better, to enjoy everyday habits, and yeah, it's basically what it says on the tin, not literally, but on the book. So yeah, I have been diving in and out of it. I'm pretty much done with it, but this is a dose effect, and it says everyday habits to balance your brain for a healthier, happier life by TJ Power. This book will energize your body and de-stress your mind. Feel like you're running on empty? You're not alone. Modern life is exhausting, and it's no coincidence. Our always-on dopamine-saturated world is throwing our brain chemistry out of balance, leaving us overwhelmed, unmotivated, and disconnected. But here's the good news. Your brain has everything it needs to feel better. You just need to learn how to work with it. In The Dose Effect, Sunday Times best-selling neuroscientist TJ Power shares a simple, science-backed method to rebalance your brain and reset how you feel, starting with 4 key chemicals: dopamine to spark motivation, oxytocin to deepen connection, serotonin to lift your mood, endorphins to relieve stress. Through small everyday habits you can actually stick to, TJ shows you how to boost these feel-good chemicals naturally. No intense detoxes, no guilt, no overwhelm, just smart, proven strategies to help you feel calmer, happier, more focused, and more in control. This is your brain chemistry, rewired for modern life. Let the dose effect begin. There's a very loud motorbike outside, I want to say. Hopefully it's not too bad. I say that, it gets worse. It says unlock your happiest life with this phenomenal book. So I'll show you some of the pages. So it's like this in the contents. You've got the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. There's 4 chapters, and you can pick which one. So, for example, the dopamine focuses on flow state, discipline, phone fasting, cold water, and my pursuit. Oxytocin is about contribution, touch, social life, gratitude, and achievements. Serotonin is about nature, sunlight, gut health, underthinking, and deep sleep. And then endorphins is about exercise, heat, music, laughter, and stretching. So it's about how you can increase these by doing those following things. So let's have a look at the deep sleep, which is 214, and it's just done by, it has good things to read and then also like science-backed things. So this one is recharge at night to thrive by day, deep sleep, serotonin. So it's got a bit about understanding deep sleep and about it, and it's got about optimizing your sleep. So it's got morning sunlight, daily movement, and your environment. So temperature, lighting, and comfort. Nighttime technology, and your diet in terms of caffeine, sugar, and alcohol. Calming your mind. So the consistency of your bedtime, gratitude, underthinking, and you can also do breathing exercises, writing, and listening. And within this, there's different sort of tasks, exercises, and it's just to help you literally have a healthier, happier life, or just to change routines. So it's got here for your tips to strengthen your social connections. Remove phones, listen actively, compliment, make eye contact, connect physically, and ask good questions. And it's just got sort of suggestions on what you can do basically. I've looked at this bar mainly for the dopamine to spark motivation, especially for when I'm studying, and just ways that I can sort of have more energy and things like that. So I do think this is really good, especially if you just want to read about it and understand how even going for a walk can boost your mood, and things like that. So I do recommend this. This is definitely a 5 out of 5. It's really good and actually really interesting, and like I say, it is backed by science. I found this really useful actually, and it is actually because of this that I'm trying to spend less time on my phone and scrolling and on social media, that kind of thing. I want to be more in the present, and yeah, I think this has really helped. And finally, the book that I'm reading next. I haven't started it yet. I might start it later, but this is my next book that I'm gonna read. It was £5. I got it from the works. And it's by Frida McFadden, because I've been loving the books. Like I said, One by One was amazing. The Housemaid I've loved. So the next up is The Tenant. There's no place like home. Blake Porter is riding high until he's not. Fired abruptly from his job as a VP of marketing and unable to make the mortgage payments on the new brownstone he shares with his fiancée, he's desperate to make ends meet. Enter Whitney, beautiful, charming, down to earth, and looking for a room to rent. She's exactly what Blake's looking for. Or is she? Because something isn't quite right. The neighbours start treating Blake differently. The smell of decay permeates his home, and no matter how hard he scrubs, strange noises jar him awake in the middle of the night. And soon Blake fears someone knows his darkest secrets. Danger lives right at home, and by the time Blake realizes it, it'll be far too late. The trap is already set. It says Frida McFadden knocks at your door with a gripping story of revenge, privilege, and secrets turned sour. I don't know, it sounds right on my street, and I just know I'm gonna love it. So yeah, I think I might start this one this evening. It's quite a big book, it's 352 pages, so it'll probably take me a couple of days to get through, but this is the next one that I'm starting. So yeah, these are all the books that I've read and books that I'm going to read. I might do a monthly book video like this, almost like a book club. Do let me know if this is something you'd like, if you like book recommendations like this, or book suggestions. And yeah, do let me know if you've read any of these books, but don't give away any spoilers. And comment below what book you're currently reading, as I'm intrigued and I might read them next month. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found this a little bit relaxing. Take care. Bye bye everybody. Bye bye.